Today we're with one of the biggest and most visible of all the London clubs. It's the Kingston Wheelers, who regularly leave the banks of the River Thames here and head out into those iconic Surrey hills, where, by the way, it's not all about Box Hill. How about the beast that is Leith Hill? Welcome to the club. It's a freezing cold morning, but that hasn't stopped the Kingston Wheelers turning out in their usual high numbers for the Sunday ride. The Surrey Hills in all their glory lie ahead of us, but for now it's a typically humdrum spot to meet. A car park off a main road. How very British. Phil Barella is the man in charge of the ride, or so I tell him. Okay, this is Phil Barella, who's the ride captain for the day. Oh, that's a good expression. You're really giving us confidence. Where are we going? What are we doing?
So we're just going out 3 hills, but primarily we're going to take you around what will be the start of our TT course. That's at the bottom of Hungry Hill.
Hungry Hill.
After that, we go to the base of Leith Hill, where our club hill climb starts, and obviously we'll go up to Cowbell Corner, which is where you'll see lots of us. Usually when we're doing the club hill climb, cheering on all the various riders doing that side of things. And then after that, it's the Leith Hill Tower. And then Trundle home.
Good day out.
Yeah, it should be a good fun. Yeah.
Excellent. Cheers, Phil.
Excellent.
Let's go. Now, I don't want to go on about it too much or overstate the case, but it was properly cold on this ride. And freezing conditions, as any cyclist will tell you, present problems all of their own. But there's always a solution. Right, so heading over here this morning, I had to notice that the thermometer in my car said it was -5. You've got a few words about how to maintain your bike in these horrible winter conditions.
Yeah, normally you'd need something for the chain that stops the corrosion, that sort of thing in the wet weather. Luckily today though, as you say, it's -5, but it's dry.
Yeah. You're riding with us today?
I am riding with you today, yes, looking forward to it.
Good stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
One thing that's often struck me about the Kingston Wheelers when I see them out on the road in London is the diversity of their riders. Men, women, old and not quite so old. All human life is represented, in fact, with one thing in common: a love of the bike.
Have you seen the route for today?
What's he?
Have you seen the route for today?
Oh, I think we're going out to Hungry Hill then.
Yeah.
How far are we riding today?
It's about 90k.
Is it?
Give or take, yeah. But yeah, we're going to be stopping at Hungry Hill Lane for the TT bit.
Yeah.
After that, Newlands, and we're going to do a sort of
You said a
drive
formation up. Yeah.
formation up. Nice and easy though, obviously.
Yeah. After a few last-minute checks, we get on our way out into that icy air and a chance to get some warmth into the legs. Back on our bikes, we start to push on out of the suburbs of London and up into the beautiful Surrey Hills. The weather doing all the work for the local tourist board. Sparkling. During the war, the club lost 2 of its founding members, but Bill Orpin and Gil Jessup both returned home and reformed the club in 1953. Today it's got around 600 members and meets on Sunday mornings for its club runs. It also hosts trips abroad, club championships, closed circuit days, time trials and even road races. Yeah, I think I've ridden along here fairly often. Is this part of the Ride London route?
Yeah.
On the way back or something? Yeah. Right, so we just stopped off here because Phil has pointed out a massively important telegraph pole. Probably the most important telegraph pole in all of Surrey. Because, Phil, this is
The starting point of Sporting 14 TT.
the Sporting 14.
Gil Jessup TT, yeah.
Named after one of your founding members, Gil Jessup.
Absolutely, yeah.
So a lot of clubs have a Club 10. That's your kind of standard British fare, isn't it? But you've got a Club 14 because you're a bit different.
Yeah, it's just the nature of the circuit. 2 lots of 7 miles, and yeah, we've got a former club member has got the course record for the last couple of years.
Which is what? Do you know off the top of your head, roughly?
Well, I know it's Rob's Island, and I know it's 30:49.
30:49.
49, which is pretty good. I mean, Rob's a strong time trialist. So.
What's your personal best?
I'm around 40 minutes. Yeah, it was terrible. Last year it was 2 degrees. I was dressed up to the nines. I had about 14 layers on, and I was
Yada. Excuses.
I was rubbish.
But no, joking apart, it's tough, right? It's a tough course.
It's not easy. No, I mean the drag just saps your legs, and the next section's slightly rolling, and the corners are all not particularly technical, but it's the time of year. 2 degrees, 3 degrees. You know, if there's proper time trialists, they fly around the corners. People like me, no.
Let's go and find out what it's like.
Yeah.
All right, so we finally left the outskirts of London behind us. Now we're properly in the Surrey Hills. It's been kind of gently undulating up to this point, but we've reached Newlands Corner, which it's not exactly the Tourmalet, but it's the highest point of this ride so far. And if you've ever had the good fortune to do the Ride London event, this is a feed zone and you'll probably recognise it. That's the Albury Downs, the next ridge there in the distance, and lurking behind that little line of trees there, got the monsters of Leith Hill and Box Hill that we're still to tackle on today's ride. But I have to say, so far, and it's early days on this ride, the most eye-catching performance is by young Jack, by some distance. Not only eye-catching, but fast. And rumour has it I'm going to be going head-to-head with him later on. Not feeling good about that at all. I'm just so concentrated on the fact I can't feel my toes and my fingers. Oh, Jesus. Actually, when I say I can't feel them, what I mean is I can feel them, and they're screaming at me. Now, Gavin stood out for a couple of reasons, not least his Welsh-sounding name and accent, but also for his retro gear. In fact, before the ride, he showed me just how extensive his collection was. Stopped off at Gavin's house, he's a member, and Gavin has got, by far, blown everyone else away, I suspect, the biggest collection of jerseys from the club going down the years.
I've been a member for 15 years, but I've taken a keen interest in the jersey and the history of the jersey the last few years or so.
Which is, there's a story behind the first one you got, which is...
Yeah, so I built up a collection since then. So when I joined the club, this was the outgoing jersey.
Like it.
This one, yeah,
Ooh,
it looks
that's
pretty.
got a kind of, what era was that? What vintage?
So this came out in '98, and this was the new kit at the time. So I didn't have a pile of cash on me at the time, so I went for a slightly cheaper option and got the outgoing kit. And also, one of the old members left the club and returned that to the club, so I was offered that one for a tenner as well.
For a tenner?
So that...
See, that's great, isn't it?
That came
that's
out
classic.
in about '94, so yeah, really keen on that one.
It's lovely.
Very retro.
It's lovely, it's lovely. Quite heavy,
yes.
You know, but that's how they made them back then. And then going back, your earliest one is...
Yeah, so they're in chronological order. So I've got
yeah.
pretty much every design and variation since 1985, which is this one. And
Sorry to interrupt. What's that made of then? That's just the old
cotton
jersey material, isn't it?
This is lovely acrylic, lovely fake wool of the 80s.
Nice.
Yeah, you don't want to wear that on a summer's day.
Yeah, or anywhere. Anywhere, really. Actually, I quite like the design, but yeah, heavy. So when did it go from this sort of like, I don't know, you'd almost call it like Cambridge blue, light blue, to this distinctive white,
Kingfisher blue. So this came out, so 2004 was the end of this era.
Yeah.
And this was actually a barrier to people joining our club. And even then our club was still small and we were trying to attract members. And I had a number of people tell me that they didn't want to join the club for this reason.
Whoever designed this, I hope you're not looking at this because he's just bad-mouthed your design, but there we go. Anyway, I can kind of see your point.
I won't name names.
No, don't name names. Yeah.
So this is a nice merino wool replica, which is new. I've only had it a couple of months.
It's beautiful,
but,
isn't it?
With more modern materials.
Yeah. So which is your favourite? I suppose the final question.
I'm very attached to perhaps the earliest one of all, but my number one favourite cycling jersey, of course, is the yellow jumper.
Absolutely. Why not? Yeah.
The yellow jumper.
Fantastic. That's a particularly fine yellow jumper as well. Hey, listen, it's a great collection. Cheers, Gavin.
Cheers, Ned.
After the break, I go head-to-head with a 12-year-old, and two of the Kingston Wheelers go head-to-head in a pub. One of the worries in the British cycling scene is what the future holds. It's not just a worry for this generation, but to some extent it's always been a concern. Yes, cycling appeals to people of a certain age, shall we say, but it should appeal to everyone, and a welcoming attitude to kids in particular is vital to sustain the membership base. So it's good to see younger riders out on this club run. The group's still together and morale is high. It's just a fantastic day to be out. As we approach the bottom of Leith Hill, I'm all too aware of my upcoming race with 12-year-old Jack, who's looking ominously confident. Right, so Leith Hill is actually the Kingston Wheelers' hill climb every year, and this young man, Jack Hartree, took part in it last year. Did the whole thing, 5 minutes?
32.
5 minutes 32, exactly, which is a damn good time. Now, I've decided to pit myself against Jack, but I'm not going to do the whole hill climb because, frankly, it's far too far and far too steep. So we're only going to do a little section of it, haven't we?
Yeah.
And up there, I think we've got some vociferous support as well. So, Jack, may the best man win. Oh, fair play, you won. Well, I finally struggled up to the top of Leith Hill in the company of young Jack, and actually we're standing on the top of Leith Tower, which is the official highest point in all of the southeast of England. And frankly, in your wildest imagination, you couldn't dream up a more scenic stop-off point for a cup of tea and a slice of cake on your club run. It was built in 1765 by a gentleman called Richard Hull, and he described it at the time as the perfect place for people to stop off and enjoy the glory of the English countryside. The view is just extraordinary. Over there is the Wembley Arch, and just behind me, Gatwick Airport, all in the same view. I think he was spot on.
Any sort of tech, I love it. I like the retro as well. I love this as well. I love this stuff as well. I just like I like stuff.
So between you and me, I mean, you're, obviously you know all the lads here. Who's the few spend a bit too much money on the old tech?
Obviously. But as you can see from the bikes here, there's some that ride don't spend any on it, like
Yeah.
the old style,
Yeah.
and some who spend loads on it, just like the tech. That's a big part of their life.
Do you like a good old debate about tech? The old disc brake debate, for example?
Well,
You
it's
into
a
that?
bit of that, I suppose.
Where do you stand on
You
that
know.
disc brake? That's the thing, isn't it? That
Yeah, I like disc brakes.
Yeah.
They keep the bike a lot cleaner. So when you've got rim brakes and you have a puncture and that sort of thing, you get absolutely filthy changing a tube.
my first experience of riding one, the first time I ever had to touch them was coming down on Mont Ventoux descent. And they're different. They take a bit of getting used to.
Yeah, there's a lot of feel though. You're safer, I think, with discs.
But I also like the fact that you can buy an expensive set of wheels and it doesn't wear them out. It just
there's
you
no
can
contact
replace
with
the, which is great, you know, carbon wheels, and you've got to chuck it away after however many. You know, it's
Changes, doesn't it? It's all just the march forward.
it is. I suppose so.
Everything
Yeah,
changes, you know.
yeah. But you know, old brakes have their place as well. I mean, I still like those. You know, it's interesting how they.
There's a few retro bikes in our ride, isn't there?
There are.
Yeah.
There are.
Yeah, no, I like my retro stuff. I've got the odd bike, but seeing the Bob Jacks and the Roberts and that sort of thing is, good English builders out there.
On my birthday list, a retro bike. Nice to.
I've got retro legs. that's what I brought along to this ride. Built in the late 1960s.
Exactly.
And still just about working.
Yeah, wearing out fast.
Well, frankly, you seem unreasonably clued up. And just to mark your card, there will be a bit of a quiz
Oh God.
later on.
Oh no.
And I've earmarked
I'll
you as a candidate.
Start swatting now.
Yeah. I think you've got it all up here.
Yeah.
Natural inbuilt advantage. After we finish our coffees, we get back on the bike and get ready for a nice descent and then a fast run in to Kingston. Well, riding is one thing, but racing is quite another. The great thing about these clubs is their accessibility and the negligible cost of membership, bringing with it all the camaraderie and fun of getting to know your peers. But pinning a number on your back and really testing yourself is something that more people should consider. It won't be for everyone, but it is part of the cycling experience and something that should be tried. Excellent ride out in the Surrey Hills. Cold, but in every other sense perfect. And we've gathered here at a pub in Kingston, which is a fitting way to end it up with a brilliantly named new introduction. The brilliant segment, fantastically entitled, Bolting's Bike Boffins. And we've got two of them here, Keith and Matt. And up for grabs today is a selection of bike cleaning products. You won't necessarily have to use them after today's seamless ride, but they're for the future. So that's up for grabs. You confident?
No.
You've got. You're going to go first, Keith. You got fun.
Okay.
You come next, right? So concentrate. You've got 45 seconds. So I've got 10
Right.
questions prepared, loosely relating to the cycling world.
Okay.
And you've got the pride of Kingston on your shoulders.
Thank you
weighing
very
heavily,
much. So no
all right?
pressure then.
Okay, no
Right,
pressure.
okay.
Right. Are you ready, timekeeper? Okay, we're good to go. Starting now. Who was the last Frenchman to win the Tour de France? He's won it 5 times. It's not Eddie Merckx. Are you going to pass? You can pass.
Eno.
Bernard Hinault, I'll give you that. Where's the 2017 Tour starting? Next year's Tour.
Germany.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Dusseldorf. Name the Shimano group set that sits between Tiagra and Ultegra.
105.
Whoa, you got that! What does QOM stand for?
Queen of the Mountain.
Correct! By 2010, there were roughly 1 billion bicycles worldwide. True or false? Time is up.
Oh, come on, that's an easy
I can let you answer. Go on. True or false? 1 billion bicycles worldwide.
True.
That's true. And you scored 5, Keith. That's respectable. It's very respectable. Right. Are you ready, Matt?
Just about.
Right. Timekeeper, are you ready? Okay. Your 45 seconds, Matt, starts now. Who has ridden the fastest average speed in a time trial in the Tour de France? Tricky, this one.
Chris Bourne.
No, he was recently beaten by last year. Remember? No, it was the year before, actually, wasn't it? Rowan Dennis. Okay, no. Okay. What does Didi dress up as during the tour?
Devil.
Yes. Who is codenamed Luigi? Tricky that. Are you up on your doping news?
Oh,
No, you're going to pass. You could pass.
Pass.
Right. How many kilometres in a mile?
1.6.
Yes, that'll do. What did Ned Boulton call the yellow jersey in his first Tour de France?
The yellow jumper.
Correct. The world speed record for a bicycle is 95 miles an hour. True or false?
True.
No, false. It's 83. What is the Lanterne Rouge?
It's the.
Oh, you're out of time, but I'll let you answer.
It's the last man in the Tour. Last man.
Give you that, and you have scored 4, man. Oh! Which means that the inaugural boffin is Keith. Round of applause for Keith. All that is yours. You must be very proud. Well done, Keith. Kingston Wheelers is unique because all cycling clubs are unique, and it's unique for another reason, because I suspect, I'm just going out on a limb here, that Kingston Wheelers are the only British cycling club that can boast an author of erotic cycling fiction. Toria is just such a person, aren't you?
Yes.
You're writing, frankly, naughty books about cycling.
Yes, I've got one I'm just finishing off at the moment. It's an anthology of separate cycling stories that are each focused on a different aspect of cycling. The first one is on the club run, and then the one after is on women's road racing, and then the one after is on cyclocross. So it's all things that I've actually personally experienced and you know, had a go at, or it, you know,
Okay.
come in on under my radar.
Well, good luck with the books. When are we going to
Yeah.
see them finished?
I'm hoping early next year.
What's the title? Do I need to know, even know what's
At the moment, the
Go on.
working title is called Cycling Shorts.
Okay. Well, it's not about the bike, somebody once famously said, and in Tori's case, it literally isn't really about the bike.